The next one is your salary range. Guys, really. What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Snigiwe, also known as Mom and All. So in this channel, we are all about thriving, especially in our personal finances. So if that is your type of thing, make sure that you click the subscribe button and join us. Okay, all more than 1,000 of us. Yes, guys. We entered 2021 with more than 1,000 subs. So thank you so much, guys. So I asked you guys on Instagram to send me questions that I can answer. I tried not to prepare for them so that my answers are as real as possible and unrehearsed. So let's get started. So these are the questions. I'm just reading them as they are. So which career field is your husband? So my husband is in the accounting profession as well. He's also a chartered accountant, so we are in the same field but working different jobs, different companies and stuff. Wow, guys, a lot of these I think a lot of my new subbies are actually aspiring chartered accountants. So welcome, guys. I appreciate you and all the best in your journey. And then, how does one make themselves visible to employers? Guys, you basically have to have a good active profile on LinkedIn. Update your LinkedIn, have as many connections as you can with companies that you are interested in working in, and then just apply. And if you can get like the direct email of the hiring manager, then maybe try to do that and email them your CV. But just make sure that your social media is also fairly clean. Don't now post hectic things. You know, the things that get people fired now are the things that will get people not hired. So if you want to be visible to employers, I'd say try keep your profile clean. And then, do you think, guys, so many of these are CA related. I'm actually gonna mix them around. What helps you stay motivated? So my family, seeing my family and my kids appreciate what I can provide for them, that keeps me motivated. And also just the love of God, knowing that his presence is here, and whatever it is that I'm going through that might be hard or whatever, he's there and he'll never lead me through to something that he can't lead me through. So if I'm at it, it means he's gonna push me through. So yeah, the presence of God really keeps me motivated, or the awareness of the presence of God keeps me motivated. And then, how do you juggle being a mom, wife, employee, and side hustler? I struggle so hard. I do struggle though, especially of late. It's been really challenging with the pandemic, because sometimes like you have someone who helps you around, sometimes you don't. Lockdown restrictions, it's really been tough. But I would say I have a video. I know it's like, but I have a video, especially when I used to blog a lot about motherhood and yeah, my motherhood journey. There's a video where I shared like how do I juggle between the two, and the key takeaway from that video is basically that I always think at that moment in time what's important, and then I go with that. Basically, what's a rubber ball and what's a glass ball. A glass ball is very important, I cannot drop, so I make sure that I always attend to my glass ball at that point in time. And these things change. Like sometimes my child will be a rubber ball if I've got a work deadline and they just want to nag me, so I can say I'm not prioritizing them now, I'm doing what I need to do. But sometimes if my child is sick, even if I have a deadline, my child is the glass ball. I have to nurture that relationship and make sure that my child is okay. So then my child is a glass ball and I have to drop whatever deadline I have or whatever work that I have. So it's just prioritizing, and the priorities change according to the situation that I'm in. But always pray for wisdom from God, because you don't want to misjudge the situation and then end up finding yourself that you're viewed as an absent parent by your kids, or you viewed as a non-performer at work, or blah 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 blah. But basically, to balance everything out, I try to keep myself centered so that I can have the wisdom to know the difference between my glass balls and my rubber balls. And then with tip and top, how did you pick? Does it matter? So with tip and top, basically they mean for someone who's not in the chartered accountancy profession, they're asking how did I choose between going the audit route or the non-audit route. I went the non-audit route. Watch my chartered accountancy journey video, then you'll know how I made that choice. And does it matter? It does matter, because if you want to be a partner and you want to sign off financials or audit financials, then you have to go the audit route. But if you don't want to do that, you can go the non-audit route, and then you prepare financial statements and sign them yourself. But you won't be auditing anyone else's financial statements, so you won't be an auditor, you will be a CA, and then you'll do a whole lot of other things, whatever you want to do actually, and except auditing, of course. So it does matter, because you'd find that and if you want to stay on with the organization that you train with, which is non-audit, it will be beneficial for you to just train there and know their company inside out. Whereas you'd find that if you want to leave at the end of your 3-year contract, some companies just prefer to get people from the audit companies. I'm not sure why. I think they think because they audit different companies, they're exposed to more things. So it does sometimes matter. You do find jobs that say preferably you have to have trained, maybe they'll specifically say at the Big Four. It's a bias that I really wish didn't exist within the CA profession, but it's there. So I'd say if you're not sure, maybe just go the default audit route, and then you can decide after you've seen different audit clients. Do you think the CA designation is saturated? No, nothing is saturated. People always say this, even when you're going into YouTube. I don't think it's saturated. We still need way more chartered accountants. No, the economy is constantly growing, constantly evolving. They always need young professionals. They're always in need of CAs. So I'd say no. And if you look at the JSE listed companies, most of their CFOs are chartered accountants. So definitely not saturated. There's room for everyone, and there's lots of things you can do. So no, it's not saturated. What important value do you want to teach your kids, and why? So I want to teach them to love just as Christ loved us. I feel like love and kindness are so important in this world, especially in this day and age. So I definitely want to teach them those values. And yeah, the love of Christ is paramount to that. Like, I want them to walk a similar path to me. Yeah. How do you manage being a CA and a mom at the same time? So it's similar to the other question. I just make do. I try to prioritize. Yeah. Please explain how you apportion your income. What rationale goes behind it? The tithe, the saving, and expenses. So the famous answer. I have a video, but I do have a video where I say 70-20-10 rule. That basically shows the rationale behind how I apportion my income. I go into detail of why I apportion 10% to my tithing, 20% to my savings, and the other 70% to my spending or what I'm doing or whatever, living expenses. But the ratio changes because I do want to increase that 20%, so it's been increasing over time. But basically my rationale is that God is important and he wants us to tithe, so that's why I'll do the tithe. And then the saving, it's because you never know what's going to come next. Right now there was a pandemic, no one knew that, and a lot of people lost their jobs, so I want to be prepared for certain emergencies or stress events of life. And then the 70%, obviously I must live. So another question is, how do you discipline your toddler? You guys, kids are challenging. You guys, kids. So I try to tell them, Woody, guys, this change in voice, they know my different voices. With now I'm in business, those are like the main things. And I also try to explain to them later on when it's not like in the height of things. Woody, this is why I did that, this is why I'm telling you that. Do you get it? But do I spank them? Yes, that's not an option. It is an option for me. I wish it wasn't, but sometimes I feel like Caesar, guys, it's a discussion for another day. But yeah, I do spank my kids. Let me know if you guys spank your kids, and what other methods do you use. I know, like when my daughter was going to school, time out used to work for her, but she doesn't understand it anymore now that she's a dropout because of the pandemic, and I don't use it as much. Yeah. The next one is your salary range. Guys, really? I just told you guys on that other video where I was saying top 5 money mistake. What's my number 1 mistake was sharing how much I earn with my parents. Not number 1. One of my mistakes was that. So I won't say, but generally, if you're newly qualified, you'd get around how much? 550,000 per annum. So my salary range is from there. Let's say 550,000 to, let's say, 1.5 million, just to keep you guys guessing. So they say 500k to 1.5 million, somewhere there. And then another question, are you investing for your kids' education? If so, how? What products are you using? So specifically for my kids, I am investing, but I'm not doing like something specific. This is for education, this is for that. It's literally I'm investing for them. So no, like the one has a tax-free savings account. Like on my mind, I know it's for him, not that it's in his name. Okay, now the his and her are giving away stuff. And the other one has like unit trusts, and in my mind I know that's for her. So those are the two different vehicles. Obviously I want to see how they both perform, like gauging the market. But yeah, I do invest for my kids. I just use general investment vehicles that are available to grow my wealth, but I know that this is the money that I will use for my kids. And I'm using longer term things like the tax-free savings account. Hopefully I'm hoping that my general net worth grows in such a way that things like their education doesn't have to be I need to call from an investment somewhere. It's just money I have, you know. That's what I want to do ultimately, to build my income in such a way that I can still pay for them like this without having to dip into a fund. So that's the end goal. But for now, because I know I'm not there yet, I'm putting the money away. But hopefully I won't need it to use it for their education. Their education can just be this, I've got this, you know. But if like something hits the fan, then I know that I have it as a reserve. And then I hope I did not miss anyone's question. So those were your questions, and nothing was super personal, guys, except like the salary thing. Thank you guys so much for responding when I asked you. We'll do this again. Nothing was super invasive. I feel like you guys were so nice and so respectful. Like your questions were so chilled. As much as I said nothing is off limits, you guys, like, you didn't go there, you were chilled. So that's pretty cool. Anyway, those are my answers to your questions. I will see you guys next time, and I hope this video has helped you guys know me a little better and let us stay acquainted, because kusazoba mnandi kule channel. If you are not subscribed, why not? Click the button down below. Cheers, guys.